Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Yer. Something that I'm going to be doing and something I've been wanting to do for a long time is I'm going to be posting short videos about shadow work and shadow work prompts. I'm going to be trying to upload them weekly. Along with these videos and shadow work prompts, I'm going to also be doing oracle card readings with them. Later on in the week, I will also try to record and upload a guided meditation as well. So, what is the shadow and what is shadow work? The shadow mostly is comprised of the unhealed pieces of us and the unhealed versions of ourselves. Most of the time, within our shadow lies a lot of dormant trauma that has been unprocessed and unhealed. The importance of shadow work is to bring light to the shadow so that we can really bring light to certain situations that happened in our life, and so that we can take control of our healing, and so that we do not allow these dark times in our life, these experiences that we call negative, because nothing is negative or positive. That's the ego placing a label onto it. These are all learning experiences for us. And the deeper that we go in our shadow work, the deeper we are able to understand that. But what we are doing with shadow work is we are bringing light to it so that these situations and these experiences that happened for us in our lifetime, because everything is happening for us, not to us. So the experiences that have happened for us no longer control us, and they no longer have their claws gripped into us. So the shadow work prompt, and these are questions, and you can journal about it, you can think about it, just to kind of get your mind and everything going so that you can kind of think about this a little deeper. But the shadow work prompt that I'm going to present to you today has a lot to do with love and about Venus retrograde, because we are currently in Venus retrograde in Leo. And another thing that I love, aside from shadow work, is I love astrology. So the prompt that I have for you today is, when have you felt unloved in your life? And really the importance of Venus retrograde, for me at least, is to really go inward and to look at the ways that I love myself and to see where I'm lacking in that. Because all of the love that we need and all of the love that we give out and all of the love that we seek is always within, because everything in this whole entire universe and this whole entire world that we are living in is a projection of us. So when in your life have you felt unloved? And I really want you to think about this, because feeling unloved often comes from an abandonment wound. And oftentimes we may initially think, well, I felt unloved in a certain relationship because this thing happened. However, I really want to get you going deeper than this, because a lot of our relationships are reflections of the way that we were raised and reflections of the relationships that we had with our caregivers, whether you were cared for by your parents, aunts and uncles, whomever that may be. So this feeling of unloved or being unlovable is usually triggered by a relationship that we have going on in our life right now, whether that relationship is platonic, romantic, or whether it's like a work relationship. And then the deeper wound that triggers is usually an abandonment wound, or a wound from our childhood where we felt unloved. So I really want you to think about that. I want you to journal about it for as short or long as you feel necessary. A follow-up question to this is, what are ways that you show and accept love? And again, the way that we show and accept love is often a reflection of our childhood and the way that we were raised and the way that we were taught love and the way that we were shown love, and the way that we accept love is usually the love that we were given when we were children. Another really important thing that I want to bring up is the love languages. There are 5 big love languages that you may have seen before, and if not, I will just give you a refresher, or if you have seen them before, I will give you a refresher, and if not, I will just talk them out with you. So one love language is physical touch. Another one is words of affirmation. Then we have quality time, gift giving, and acts of service. So physical touch is hugging, cuddling. It may even be intimacy or sexual things as well. Words of affirmation are being told that you're doing well, or being told that you are loved. Somebody physically speaking these words out to you so that you can hear them. Quality time is just what it sounds like. Someone spending time with you, whether that be going out on trips or whether it's sitting on the couch and watching your favorite TV show together. Gift giving is also exactly how it sounds. It's giving gifts and being presented with gifts, whether this be very expensive gifts or whether it's having somebody make you something from scratch and giving it to you, or whether it's having somebody maybe walk through a store and buying you a small trinket and saying, hey, I thought about you when I saw this and I just wanted to give it to you. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. For some people, it may be. And then the last one is acts of service. And this is helping someone with chores around the house. It is kind of lessening the load on somebody else's plate by taking some of the responsibility and showing that you love someone by doing these acts of service for them. A very interesting thing about the love language is that oftentimes the love language that we accept into our life, or that we want, our top love language, is often the one that you did not receive enough as a child. And I want you to think about that, and I want you to think about your love language. And the love language that we accept into our life is not always the love language that we show either. For example, I enjoy buying gifts for people. I enjoy it because I really think about it, and I think about the type of person that they are, their hobbies, their interests, and I put a lot of thought and effort into gifts, whether that be a very large gift or whether that's a very small gift. However, my top love language is words of affirmation. And that, with everything I've said in this, that will show you a little bit of who I am and how I was raised as well. I was not exactly raised in a home where we said I love you, and that's by no fault of my parents. I don't blame them for that. It's just not something that we grew up saying. It's not something that my parents grew up saying, because love wasn't something that you verbally expressed. The way that my parents grew up showing love is through acts of service. So I just want you to think about that. And I'm going to pull out my oracle cards, and I will pull oracle cards for this feeling of feeling unlovable, or moments of feeling unloved. I will pull oracle cards for that, and I will ask Spirit to guide us through this time and through the rest of Venus Retrograde. So for this oracle card reading that I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Spirit to help guide us through these kind of darker feelings of feeling unlovable, and through these deeper childhood or adolescent wounds that we may have, and through the rest of Venus Retrograde, which will last until the beginning of September. So during this time, and it's so funny because Venus retrograde right now is happening in Leo, and I pulled the Courage card upside down, and the Courage card is also the Leo card because Leo is represented by the lion. So this really, to me, signifies, especially since it's upside down, Venus retrograde in Leo. So thank you, Spirit, for that card, because that's an amazing confirmation that these cards are the correct cards for showing us how to kind of process all of this and to really work through these deeper woundings that we may have. Adaptation. So it's super important to adapt to any surroundings. The octopus is on this card, and that's beautiful because the octopus can camouflage itself. If an octopi's leg gets ripped off, it can actually regrow that leg or arm, its appendage, whatever these are called. I think they're called different with everything. However, it can regrow it. So through these deeper wounds, we may actually feel like part of us has been ripped away. Please know that through healing and through growth, you can actually regrow that part of you that you feel may have been ripped away for you. And also super important to be able to blend into environments at times, especially during times when you may feel unlovable, because it's important to blend into the background sometimes because it's important to pause. I don't want you to do it all the time. I want you to stand out and be bold and beautiful. However, it's important to blend into surroundings. Sometimes use discernment, use your best judgment, because sometimes it's important to pause, recollect, and then to come out bold and beautiful and to make powerful statements, to send these messages, and to really get your point across after you've used your discernment and consideration for other people, showing love and compassion throughout all of it. Peace comes in upside down because during times where you're feeling unlovable, during times when you're second-guessing yourself, during these times your peace is disrupted. When we have these feelings of doubt coming up within us, it's hard for us to be at peace because our inner peace has been disrupted. The words inner child are coming in right now because our inner child is not at peace. So it feels like our soul, our whole world has been disrupted as well. And then the death card comes up. This does not mean a physical death of the body. What this means is an ego death, or a death of a piece of us, a death or a detachment or an ending is what it means. So through this Venus retrograde, we have all of this very heightened energy, and with this heightened energy brings so much potential for us to really go within and to learn to love ourselves and to put an ending to whatever it is that may be disrupting our peace, not allowing ourselves to adapt, and that may be stealing our courage and our love for ourselves away from us, because Leo is represented by the lion. However, it is ruled by the sun, and the sun represents us and our personality and our self. So thank you, Spirit, for these cards and this beautiful message about feeling unloved and unlovable and how to work through it throughout Venus retrograde. I really hope that this helps you take a deeper look at these feelings that may be coming up for you of feeling unlovable, and I really hope that this helps you look at the feelings of feeling unloved in your life and the situations where that may have been triggered for you. I also hope that this helps you take a deeper look at those abandonment wounds that you may have in your life so that you may begin to process them and work through them a little bit more, just so that you can find a little bit more peace in your life, especially during this time, because healing is where it's at. And shadow work has helped me so much. So I just share my journey openly. And I've been wanting to make these videos about shadow work. And I'm so glad that I'm taking that inspired action to really take a big step forward in my life and to begin to do this. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great day or night. And I love you so much. And the soul in me sees the soul in you. I love you.